Hey there guys, we're back at it with another special video for you guys. Now, I know it feels like I say that all the time, but today we're gonna be taking you behind the scenes a little bit, behind making one of our Light My Bricks lighting kits. Now, in a previous video, we built and unboxed this absolutely awesome Star Wars Imperial Shuttle set 10212, and it was an absolute blast. So we've got the UCS Imperial Shuttle set here in front of me, and we've got our special guest, Will, our lead lighting designer here as well, to take us a little bit through the lighting design process and all of that type of stuff. Thanks for joining us, Will.
Thanks for having me, man.
So obviously this is an absolute beast of a set.
Massive.
And this thing is packed full of really cool techniques and things that you just don't see in today's Lego builds anymore, which I imagine would have presented a new kind of challenge for you guys in the lighting design team.
For sure.
What was your first thoughts when this project hit your desk?
Yeah, so straight away, the kit landed on my desk and I was like, this thing is huge. Obviously, super iconic ship as well. And just being such an old set, I was stoked to get the opportunity to light it. So I had a really great time with this one. Secondly, the tri-wings, I was like, how am I gonna get the cables to run neatly from right at the tippy ends into the hull of the ship? Got there in the end, but took a while.
Yeah, I know when I was initially building this thing, I was looking at those wings and going, I'm definitely not jealous that I am not the one lighting this, because having to fit a tiny cable, as much as they're small, into a 1x1 brick structure is pretty much impossible. But you worked your magic and made it happen here. You've done a killer job with the lighting design on this one. I know whenever I have to light something like my Hoth build, I make sure I do a lot of research for each of the individual ships and explosions, that kind of a thing. Did you have the same kind of process when you made the lights in this one?
Of course, it's the exact same thing. So with every light kit we design, we pretty much want it to look as realistic to the source material. So we'll always focus on that. So straight away, I went right to the Star Wars film, awesome. Return of the Jedi. In that film, you see this ship loads of times. So coming out of the Star Destroyer, the first thing I noticed was the blinking lights on each of the tri-wings, as well as the two blinking lights at the front. And they needed to flash simultaneously. So used one of our sequence effects boards, got that flashing nicely. Secondly was the rear engines. Getting that looking nice and even and glowing as bright as it could was very important.
Totally. Obviously this thing looks absolutely killer. Epic. And you've done a lot of different things when it came to lighting this up. What we've done already is we've recorded a clip having you install your lights and kind of talk people through the process of lighting up a set like this.
Yep.
So let's roll the clip.
Let's do it. I'm weaving the cables through the length of the wing, going around the Technic pieces. So this will help when we get it in the right position and we push the wing back together, the cable will be concealed through the interior of the wing, which is quite a challenging task with this one when I was designing it. So now we've worked on the right wing, we're gonna go across to the left wing and we're gonna be repeating the same process. We have all three of the wings all wired up with the bit lights on the end. So pretty much what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take all those cables, the three of them, and we're gonna run them into this top section of the ship, which is hollow inside there. We're gonna connect that up to our 8-port expansion board. Cool, so they're working great. So what I'm gonna do now is, I'm gonna unplug it, and instead of the USB, we can hook up one of our connecting cables, and we'll put that into a sequence effects board and we'll get a flashing effect, which is actually represented in all the movies where the Imperial Shuttle features. All right, great. So now I've connected up these two boards with a 5cm connecting cable, attached the USB cable again. We'll do another power test, and there we go. We got some flashing lights, exactly like the movie. We're gonna move on to these two lights that we have underneath the front of the ship, and they're gonna connect to the exact same board because they actually have the same flashing effect as these wing lights. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually twisting the cables underneath, because this will make it a lot easier for when we go to thread the cable through the bottom of the ship. We can do them at the same time. All right, so what we've done there is we've created one of our spotlights just through some added Lego components. So what we'll do is we'll attach this underneath the front of the ship here, and this will illuminate the sign, which is a big feature on this set. All right, awesome. So we've lit up all 3 wings, as well as the 2 lights underneath the ship, and we've hooked those up to our sequence effects board to get that iconic flashing effect. I've got the spotlight underneath illuminating the sign. So let's move on to my favorite part, the most iconic bit of the ship, the rear engines. All right, awesome. So we've put the rear engine on. Let's plug in a USB and we'll do a light test. That looks great. So we finished with the engine. We're gonna push this aside for now, and we're gonna work on the gun effects inside these turrets on the table here. All right, cool, this side's all done. Let's flip it around, we'll do the other side. We got lights in the wings, we got lights in the guns, in the cockpit. Can't wait to see this thing lit up. It's gonna look so awesome. It's gonna just take it to the next level.
So is that everything that goes into your lighting design?
That's it, man, it's all in there.
So every cable, everything you've done is all in the model?
All laid, man, all concealed.
Well, considering you did all the hard work, I'll let you plug it in and show it off to everyone.
Awesome, let's do it.
Gotta say, it looks pretty good.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Now, the one thing I've got to ask you about is this back engines here. They obviously look incredible, and I reckon you probably spent a bit of time getting that right. What was the process on those?
Well, you're definitely right. It took me a long time. I actually went through 4 different versions of this rear engine. I really wanted it to match the films. So I actually ended up using this light bar. So it actually has 76 LEDs on this, but only uses 1 cable. So it ended up being super neat, super even light spread. It looks pretty awesome.
It gives a great uniform look. Now, obviously you've got those flashing green lights on the front.
So what I did, I used our gun effects board in this to make it so it alternates from the large cannons at the bottom to the small cannons at the top. So you get that really cool firing effect just like the movies. So I added a couple of lights into the cockpit here. So we've got a strip light up the front, which is just illuminating the entire cabin, as well as this really cool color changing bit light. So this alternates from red to blue and just giving a really cool effect of all the instruments and electronics inside the cockpit.
We talked about these wings a lot, but how did you actually manage to make the lights happen at the top and the tips of each of these wings?
The wings actually assembled using these Technic bricks that go right from the end into the center of the ship. And so in those Technic bricks, we also have some Technic pins. And with that, I was able to thread the cable through and get them all the way up into the center without really showing any of them. So it ended up being pretty neat.
You've done an absolute killer job of this, and if you guys want to see more of Will, let us know in the comments down below, and we'll get him back to show you guys more process of how we actually light up our kits.
Yeah.
I reckon I'll say thanks very much to you, Will.
Awesome,
and
man.
We'll see you in the next one.
Sweet, thanks for having me. Catch you, man.
Thanks for coming. If you like this video, make sure you let us know in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and we've got many more videos coming in the future. So we'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.